Hello, 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 hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. What can I say? July the 6th. July the 6th is upon us, and Arsenal have finally managed to announce Zubimendi. Took them a while, but finally he has gone. Announced he's here. He's at Arsenal. He's going to play for Arsenal. And it has happened. On top of that, it actually doesn't stop there for some weird reason. But Arsenal apparently have nearly done the deal to sign Victor Gyökeres. Personal terms have been agreed upon on a 5-year deal. They're talking about a deal between 65 plus 15 in add-ons to 70 plus 10 in add-ons. That's in euros, by the way, not even in pounds. And yeah, there's a talks about Trossard potentially leaving, but unfortunately, Madueke links still persist. They're still around us, and it's not a good thing. Let's be real. It is genuinely not a good thing. So what we're going to talk about today is basically that. We're going to talk about Arsenal actually doing some business. People are already saying, what is Berta cooking? But let's genuinely stop on that trend for now. It's not that big of a deal. We haven't signed anyone as of new yet. Let's just put it that way. Anyone big. We have just signed Zubimendi. We have been signing him for half a year. Finally, we have done it. And Kepa has been announced. So technically, we have signed only 2 players. So that is nothing too much to be excited about. Let's be real. But ultimately, we are doing some business. And that is something I like to see, to be honest, from Arsenal. The preseason, we fly out. In 13 days, in less than 2 weeks, we fly out to USA. Yeah, right. It's like it was Arsenal USA. Wouldn't surprise me. We are flying out to Singapore to preseason, and it looks like Arsenal actually have finally starting to get the move on. So that is some fantastic news. So we're going to talk about all that. So do me a favor, smash the like button, caress it, destroy it, hammer it, do all that good stuff. Subscribe if you are new around here. And of course, leave your thoughts down in the live chat so we can discuss them, we can tackle them, and we can basically go from there. If you have any concerns, any excitements and everything, just put it in the live chat. Let's talk about it. Genuinely, let's talk about it because there is lots of stuff to talk about. I'm not going to lie, but it's looking promising for a weird reason. It's actually looking pretty damn good. It's looking actually pretty damn good. Obviously, I don't want to get too excited because we are talking about Arsenal here, of course. So I wouldn't get too excited before everything happens. But overall, there are some nice things. Let's be real. At least today, there are some positive news in terms of Arsenal. And it looks like we will be announcing some new better news very, very soon, based on the recent reports, at least, right? So there's definitely stuff to be excited about. Big up Valeria, big up. We have Berta to thank for Gyökeres deal. 100%. It's important to have experienced football people at the board level. Yeah, exactly, because Arteta wanted Sesko. Only with Berta coming in, we are actually turned our attention to Gyökeres, and we have finally gotten him. Plus, Berta also wanted him at Atletico Madrid. They signed Alvarez instead. So, yeah, Berta coming in, Gyökeres potentially might be coming in. That is definitely, once it's done, and if it gets done, it's all on Andrea Berta, of course. Yeah, and smash the likes as well, people. Smash the likes. Big up BXGunner. Hope you're doing well today. I'd be happy if we made these signings, but also we were announcing a new manager. Yeah, I get it. I get it, because ultimately it also comes to a point where it doesn't matter who we sign, unless Mikel Arteta changes his ways, and unless he changes his style, his system, basically to cater the players and not his system and not the other way around. So definitely, it is very, 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 let's just put it that way, it is very hopeful that Mikel Arteta changes it, because I think still that for Arsenal to be the best they can be, we have to revert back to 22-23 season style. Will we do it? I'm not too sure about that, of course. That is the big thing. Right, Zubimendi done, Victor Gyökeres nearly done. Eze needs to be next. Yeah, I get it. We need some big signings. We genuinely need some big signings, and we need quite a few of them. Let's be real. We cannot sign one player and then not sign anyone else. We need multiple ones, because Arsenal usually tend to sign one or two. No, not even two. One big player. We need to sign about 3-4 right now. And it looks like we actually might be moving in that direction. At least we hope we are going to move in that direction. But ultimately, first things first, Zubimendi signs for Arsenal, of course. That is the big one. As for Madueke plans, please don't do it. That is one of the biggest things. Please don't sign Madueke, Arsenal. I beg of you. Please don't sign Madueke. You better believe it. See what I did there. You better believe it. Exactly. Exactly. That is the case. I'm surprised top Gooners are not saying stuff like that. Genuinely. But hey, time will tell. Maybe in all due time. Basically, the 26-year-old arrives from Real Sociedad. Well, yeah. From whom he made 236 appearances in all competitions at first-team level, graduating from the club's academy. In April 2021, Martin helped Sociedad win the delayed 1920 Copa del Rey against inner-city rivals Club Bilbao Athletic, alongside current gunner Mikel Merino, of course. So he was then ever presented 22-23 as Real Sociedad secured their highest league finish in recent history, ending the season in 4th place. That's what we're aiming at. Right? Top 4 to secure Champions League football for only the 3rd time in the first 10 years. A Spanish international, Martin started all 5 games in 2020 Olympics games as they claimed silver in Tokyo, as has gone on to make 19 series appearances for La Roja, winning the 23 UEFA Nations League, as well as helping his country defeat 2-1 England to win Euro 2024. Coming on as halftime substitute, of course, Rodri got injured at the time, so he came in. So Zubimendi has said, "This is a huge moment in my career. It's the move I was looking for and I wanted to make. As soon as you set foot here, you realize how big this club is and this team are. I set my sights on Arsenal because their style of play is good fit for me." Well, not gonna lie. If you come only because of that, I'm not gonna you're gonna be too excited. They have shown their potential recently, and the best is yet to come. It's surprising that many Arsenal players that get just signed in interviews say the best is yet to come. Quite a few of them say that. And so far, we haven't seen any of that. The best is yet to come. Let's just put it that way. Andrea Berta has spoken. Now, that's a rarity, to be honest. Don't see him talking too much. "We are so happy to bring Martin to Arsenal and have a lot of pride in finalizing this transfer. Martin was a key target for us, and we all know that he's perfect to fit our squad with the high quality he has. We welcome Zubimendi and his family to the club. We look forward to him settling in with his teammates and are very excited to see him playing an Arsenal shirt." Mikel Arteta had it. Damn, they genuinely are hyping this up like no tomorrow, aren't they? Everyone's speaking. Zubimendi, Berta, Mikel Arteta, everyone's speaking about this. "Martin is a player who will bring a huge amount of quality and football intelligence to our team. He will fit in really well, and he has all the attributes to be a key player for us. The standard he has consistently performed at over the last few seasons for both club and country is exactly why we are so excited to have him with us. We all welcome Martin and his family to the club." So it's the same thing that Berta said, basically. "Zubimendi will wear number 36 shirt." Interesting choice, I'm not gonna lie. "And will join up with his new teammates at the Soba Realty Training Center when the team reports for preseason." So that's gonna happen soon by the looks of things. "Everyone welcomes Zubimendi to the club. The transfer is subject to completion of regulatory processes." Well, good luck with that. Keep shoveling. As long as we get the stuff over the line, I am happy about that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very, very happy as long as we get the deals done and they are over the line, of course. Anyhow, let me know how you feel about Zubimendi signing, because this signing was half a year in the making. I'm not gonna lie. So definitely that took a while, to say the least, but we actually have gotten him. Notice Zubimendi didn't want the five shirt. Honestly, don't blame him. At least we got Zubimendi. Yeah, finally he's been released from the airport by the looks of things. Now it's up to Gyökeres. If he disappoints us, in fact, no one to blame, because 99% of Arsenal fans are thrilled. Yeah, exactly. And to be honest, the fact that we are inching towards Gyökeres, and we are almost there as well, by the way. We are almost there. I still see Arsenal fans saying we should go for Sesko. Sesko is the right answer. He's the best thing since sliced bread, and Gyokeres is not the answer. Still see that today. Still saw it today. But yeah, the agreement between Victor Gyokeres and Arsenal on personal terms is valid until June 2030. So 5-year deal. Victor has been clear with Sporting, as reported, only Arsenal as soon as possible. Club-to-club talks are advancing, underway to get it done. So it literally came out. Zubimendi got announced. Genuinely what it felt like. Few seconds later, bang, Gyökeres, almost done. Everything is getting talked about. So it's actually quite insane. He's very good. Yeah, he better be good enough. Big up YouTube Senses. Big up Dio as well. Finally, some good news on Gyökeres. Sound really promising at last. Yeah. There shouldn't be questions about Zubimendi, considering he's already been a part of a midfield that schooled Rice, Eze, and Musiala, Palmer, and Foden. And he got bodied by Casemiro last season. So the guy can play. Yeah, there's no argument. There's no argument that Zubimendi can play. He's a very good player. The question is, will he be able to play in Premier League? And will Arsenal actually play in a way that he can show his strengths? Because again, if we start to play this sideways backwards football, right, his passing percentages will be through the roof. Don't get me wrong, there's no argument about that. But will he be the person who drives the ball, who does in between the lines, thread the needle type of passes to make the dangerous, who can maybe create a dangerous moment with a long pass? That is still remains to be seen. Big up Gavin, hope you're doing well today, my guy. There was a world where Musiala went with England. Yeah, there was. Musiala used to be like that. I still think Sesko is the better option. It's now or never for us signing him. Looking like never. We are not signing Sesko. Apparently, Leipzig still won the 80 million or something like that, and Arsenal are just not paying that. Plus, apparently, Leipzig want most of the money up front, which again Arsenal will never do by the looks of things. So it looks like it's gonna be Gyökeres. Big up Burton. Hope you're doing well. Big up Burton. Please explain it, because there is evidence that this is the last summer we could get Sesko. To be honest, Sesko will be available still. That is also a big thing. But this Romano news is very interesting, because there are some other news regarding Gyökeres that are coming out, which really makes me wonder right now. Because I also read this today, that Arsenal are closing and agreeing a fee with Sporting over Gyökeres. A large delegation from the Gunners arrived at the Alvalade late on Friday afternoon to make a breakthrough. £56 million fixed fee with add-ons of up to 8 to 13 million. Yes, it comes from CNN Sports, so CNN Portugal, so takes that with some pinch of salt, but it sounds like a good business. Let's be real, 56 plus 13, even the worst case scenario is 70 million pounds. Looking that Buemo will be 70 million pounds, right? Kudus will be 80 million pounds if United or Spurs or anyone signs them. This actually looks like a very good deal of business. And looking that we are buying him for 70, potentially, if we include add-ons, right? And the RB Leipzig want even more for Sesko in general. Like, come on, it's like a no-brainer. Let's be real. It genuinely is a no-brainer, you would say. Big up Everest. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Arsenal conveniently brought this news up after yesterday. Yeah, what a surprising coincidence. Big up the chat. Big up everyone in the chat. Big up everyone who's watching. Like and subscribe, people, and everything. But yeah, the announcement times are very interesting. Let's just put it that way. Sesko going to be out of our budget after this summer. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Big up Mubarak. Gyökeres agreed 5-year contract with Arsenal a few weeks back. And remember, I told you about this agreement. Yeah. We were talking about it 100%. Now, the question is, how true is these deals right now that gets reported that allegedly the deal will be around 56 million plus 8 million in add-ons, that would be 64 million. That sounds hella cheap, doesn't it? It's all eyewash to the Ayrton Teschen. Yeah, it feels that way. For that to happen, he would have to bang, which he never has. That is also a case for us to sign Sesko maybe next summer or something like that, unless anyone else signs him. But overall, for Sesko to actually even demand 80 million for Sesko, he should be pulling up, I would say minimum half of numbers that Gyökeres is putting up in Bundesliga to justify the 80 million, right? So I know people will say it's a farmers league and everything, but come on, bring me those crops. Bring me the best farmer in the farmers league and bring me the best crops. And that is Viktor Gyökeres and his goals, in my opinion. So that basically goes in the preference. Guy, there was a time Gyökeres wasn't banging. Sesko is 5 years younger, is scoring more goals in comparable leagues than Isak was. This is ultimately, this will be comparing apples to oranges no matter how you look at it. No matter how you look at it, if even you want to compare Sesko to Isak, to Gyökeres, it's going to be comparing apples to oranges every single time. And you're never going to make a breakthrough to anyone. I get it. Some people want Sesko like Dio. I want Gyökeres, and many Arsenal fans also still want Sesko, despite the fact that it looks like Gyökeres will be done very, very soon. I get it. But for me, personally, Gyökeres is more proven. He has done it more. He has done it more often and everything. So for me, Gyökeres seems like a better and safer option with his experience. He has done it in Champions League as well and everything. For me personally, Gyökeres is the one. No matter how you look at it, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Because no matter how you look at it as well, Gyökeres has scored more consistently. He has done it in Champions League and everything. And I would say it's worth it. It's worth a shot, given that the striker pool in general is very low. It's very, 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 very small at this stage in the world football in general. I'd say Gyökeres is the one that the Arsenal should be going after in those terms. But it will happen for Sesko. He was better raw ingredients than Isak. So let it happen. So what? Genuinely, so what? Like, I get it that if it happens for him, good for him at the end of the day. He's just not going to be an Arsenal player if it happens. And it doesn't mean that Arsenal are not going to sign him in about 2-3 years. It's just a matter if he actually can bang goals. Like, it is what it is in that regard. Again, by Sesko and Victor Gyökeres, then sell both Gabriel Jesus and Kaim. Yeah, I also was saying that if we sold Havertz, got rid of Jesus, and we signed Gyökeres and Sesko, I would have no problem as well. Let's be real, that also is a good option to have. One is arguably in his prime, who is banging goals, and one can learn and be integrated into the team and overtake the role once Gyökeres stops. Like, that also could work easily. There is no argument about that as well. But I get it. I get it that some people want Sesko. I 100% realize that. And I understand your opinions why. I can see the upsides of having Sesko. But is Sesko the one that we need right now? In my opinion, he's not. He's not proven enough. As a backup, yes. As the main guy, no. Obviously, if Gyökeres cannot score, it's gonna be judged. No matter how you look at it, every player is gonna be judged. Yes, people have also big doubts about Gyökeres' ability to score headers, given the amount of times we cross the ball, right? Because he doesn't score that many headers overall. But until it gets proven to the test, we will never know. If it becomes an issue and if he doesn't work on that himself, which obviously he should, just like Wayne Rooney did back in the day, like, that will be a whole different story. For me personally, yeah, Gyökeres seems like I wouldn't say the obvious option, but also to some extent the obvious option we should be going after right now. Like, Sesko is more of a project for the future, and we are in a state right now where future like young team and everything, it's not good enough for us anymore. We need win now type of players, and for me, win now type of players, Gyökeres screams more. Because again, he did it in the Portuguese league. He did it also in Champions League. He has done it. Yes, Arsenal annihilated Sporting at the time, but at least from Gyökeres, when he was playing that game as well, he actually did good in the second half. Yeah, he actually was somewhat decent. He spun Saliba. He went in one-on-one. He's strong. He has decent ability to finish with both feet as well. So we'll see how this is gonna go, but I get that some people want Sesko. I get it, because if you on raw talent, yes, Sesko has maybe more raw talent than Gyökeres. But at the moment, is Sesko what Arsenal need? In my opinion, is not. In my opinion, it's not. We need more established, more threatening player, and I think Gyökeres is the one, because we are not gonna get your Haalands, Kanes, and players like that. So I think Gyökeres is that player we actually we are looking for and we should be looking for. Let's just put it that way. Okay, we are at loss. Big up, Sean. Hope you're doing well. Gyökeres this summer, Sesko next summer, Eze and Rodrigo next. Stay clear of Madueke. Yeah, fact. This is 100%. You can say it like that. Gyökeres this summer, if we will be within PSR rules, no matter how you look at it, especially if we sell properly. And I have hopes that Andrea Berta managed to do it. Sesko we can sign next summer. Yes, he has 18 million release clauses and everything, not release clauses, but the price. But if he doesn't start to bank, his price will drop. Obviously, there's also no guarantees that Gyökeres this next season is gonna bank for Arsenal. So if he doesn't bank for Arsenal, it's gonna be inevitable that Arsenal will have to go back in the market and look for another striker. There's no argument about that as well, because we are not gonna sign two strikers this transfer window. At least that's what I think. We can sign Gyokeres, and that will be it for striker department. But we will still be left short. We will need another striker, which means inevitably next January, seems unlikely, let's be real, but next summer we will have to go for another striker. And why not? It cannot be Sesko, like if we put it that way. Gyokeres will do well if Merino and Havertz were decent up front. They're not strikers. Yeah, that is also the case. Havertz scored 9 goals for Arsenal, not being a striker. Merino scored 7 or 8 goals for Arsenal, not even being a striker. And if you put Gyokeres in that situation, looking at the chances, like even half of the chances that Merino missed, that Havertz missed even from 2 feet out and everything for 6 feet out, like it gives me confidence that Gyokeres actually will do good. It genuinely gives me confidence that he will do good at Arsenal. I have nothing against Sesko. I don't as well. I have nothing against Sesko, but I just don't think he's not the one right now. Next summer I can see it. Why not? But we need trophies now. That's not fair to him if we even can't even score 15 goals in Germany. I get it. I totally get it. Now it's up to Gyökeres. If he's disappointment, us in fact, no one can blame. Yeah, 100%. If he doesn't bang, we go again. That's what it's all about. If he doesn't perform, we get another striker, a backup who will overtake his role 100%. Big up most wanted. Hope you're doing well today. 12 likes, people. Big up to you all. Big up to you. Keep smashing those likes, people. Keep smashing those likes. 12 already, and we've been only live for 22 minutes. Damn, that was quick. Never had this quick. Never had this happen so quickly. Big up to you all. Odegaard, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving you a... So, to be honest, the hope... This will sound very weird because personally, I don't think as well that Odegaard is the answer for Arsenal's number 10 role, but I can see Odegaard actually next season being better. And that is solely due to the fact that we will have a proper striker up front who potentially can even score the chances Havertz missed and Merino missed and some other players missed for us up top. Because Odegaard was good for one season. The second season he dropped off last season just was awful. Let's just put it that way. Let's say it as it is. It was awful. But Odegaard has never played with a striker, has he? At least at Arsenal. He has never had a proper striker up top. Right now, at this stage, if we sign Gyökeres, he will have a proper striker up top, a proven striker, to matter of fact. So I have still some hope that he could do it. Do I think Odegaard's the answer? No, I don't. But I'm all for being proven wrong. I am all for proven wrong. If Odegaard bangs next season and Gyökeres is the essential part of it, answers will be those will be the answers to our questions in those terms. No one else but City was in for Marmoush. No one gonna say he shit because no one was in for him. Nobody. No, Marmoush was not Marmoush actually had proven record at Eintracht Frankfurt. Marmoush scored more goals in half a season than the Sesko scored the whole season. Eintracht play very attractive football offensively. Signing even strikers from Eintracht Frankfurt forward in general is a bit of a mystery, isn't it? Because if you look at the previous strikers like Colomwani, he didn't do well at PSG, like 80 million, 90 million signing. If you look at Aller, Andre Silva, and players like that, they didn't bang there. Jovic even sold for massive money to Real Madrid. They were great for Eintracht, didn't bang there. Marmoush is more of a between winger, maybe striker, something like that. He actually works. If he actually is a proper striker. About Sesko, if we try to draw parallels with Sesko still needs to up his levels quite a bit to be even on the same level as Marmoush. The thing is, Arsenal have no time to up his levels. He needs to do that and then come to Arsenal if really we sign Sesko. Sesko needs to be, in my opinion, already made player to join Arsenal, and he's just not it. As a backup, yes, next season I have no problem with that. Because there's an argument is give Raya the first race he balled 93%, he actually gets us over the line. Potentially. The real test for Berta will be if he can offload Zinchenko, Lokonga, Vieira, Nelson, Hein, Kivior, Jesus, and reluctantly Trossard or Martinelli. To be honest, speaking of Martinelli, since you are mentioning him, would be nice. Yeah. Whoop. Here it is. Fenerbahce have begun making moves to sign Leandro Trossard. Speaking of Trossard, by the way. Zinchenko will be interesting. I don't think we're going to sell Lokonga, though. I kind of have a sneaky suspicion that we are not selling Lokonga solely due to the fact that we just extended his contract on 1 year. Maybe we extended him with a hope that we can sell him. Maybe. Who knows? Fabio Vieira will be interesting to see if he's going to stay or we're going to sell him. Nelson will be an interesting one given his injury, the surgery he had, and what Arsenal are going to do in that regard. Karl Hein most likely is going to go. Maybe on loan. Kivior, I think he's going to stay. This is a weird one. Kivior wants more minutes, but behind Gabriel, he's never going to get them. So if he wants more minutes, he has to force a move himself. There are teams in Serie A who would take him, like Napoli. Even Juventus have inquired and being interested in. Will that happen? Not so sure. I'm not going to lie. Not too sure. And Jesus is a totally different story. Injuries, he's back somewhat late this year. 265 grand a week. It's gonna be hell on earth to try and offload him. I don't want him to go for free, but it looks like it might be only way how we get rid of Jesus, which is actually quite annoying. Jesus still has 2 years on his deal, which actually could make us help us maybe to offload him next summer. Although I would love for him to go maybe even in January, if it is possible. Let's just put it that way. Trio signing Gyökeres, Sesko, and Rodrigo. If we sign Sesko as well right now, I wouldn't be against it. But that would still leave us very short on the left wing. That is the biggest issue here. I'm not gonna lie. That is the biggest issue here. If we go short in that regard, if we sign another striker. 14 likes, big up people, like and subscribe. Big up social joins, Sesko fanboys in the mud. Sesko is not Pepe. Dude, I wish we still had Pepe. That right wing for Pepe, I still think Pepe, to be honest, at Arsenal was so mistreated. I'm not gonna lie. Pepe, there's a good player there. It's just the fact that we didn't allow him to shine. We didn't play to his strengths, in my opinion. And the pressure on Odegaard from Eze. Yeah, we need some pressure on Odegaard, 100%. And signing Eze definitely would do that. Because Odegaard, it feels like he's too comfortable in that spot. Unfortunately, he's one of the undroppables in Mikel Arteta's eyes. Like, I call them undroppables because Mikel Arteta has these players like Saka, Saliba, Gabriel, Raya, of course, Timber, maybe even right now, Odegaard. If they can crawl even, they are going to play. That's what it feels like regarding them. And that is a big worry as well. No, serious. Are you, Sesko? Are you okay? Big up, Harry. Hope you're doing well today. That's but 16 different games watching him saying he's not. Yeah, Sesko is too raw. Big up KK93. Odegaard can only be better than last season because you can't be worse than that. True. That is also the case. Odegaard, I think, has lots and lots of stuff to prove next season because last season was a disgrace. No matter how you look at it. Yes, he got injured and everything, but that is not an excuse. Everyone gets injured and they come back. Now Odegaard needs to up his game. He will have a striker up top. If we sign a left winger, he will have multiple options in the front to play off. If he even sign Eze, we will have someone who is breathing down his neck on top of that. So I strongly believe that Odegaard will have to up his game no matter how you look at it. And if he cannot do it next season, oh my goodness gracious. If we have Rodrigo, Gyökeres, and Saka up front, teams will start to fear us again. Exactly. The attack in general, we should have intimidating attack. We should. Arsenal were used to known to having some of the best attacks in general. We were used to known to having some of the most dangerous strikers you can imagine. And if we look at Arsenal right now, you could argue we have none of that. Nobody is afraid of Arsenal's attack. Which means if we add Gyökeres to the list, and if we sign actually like Rodrigo for the left wing, it would again be very dangerous. It means our attack would have again multiple dimensions to attack from, and we would have dangerousness all over the front line. It wouldn't be as easy for opponents to shut us down. Like double triple teams suck and we are out of the game pretty much by 90%. It wouldn't be as easy for opposing sides as well anymore. It would give us more chances to beat mid-low blocks as well. So signing that forward line in general for Arsenal should be the main priority right now. We haven't had a new attacker signed, arguably, since we signed Gabriel Jesus, if you think about it. We haven't had one. You could say Havertz, but Havertz was signed as a midfielder. Mikel Arteta said it himself. For half a season, he was playing in the midfield, and then we just throw him up top because, well, something big had to be done. So the fact that we are now signing Gyökeres and hopefully another left winger, a big one, would definitely help us. These men wanted ATMs for Kai Havertz that can... Gabriel Martinelli should already be in Saudi, because if we pull that off, that makes Rodrigo basically £12 million. True, but for me, the biggest question is, will it happen or could it happen? Because right now, if we look at these Trossard links and everything, right? I think Trossard is going and Martinelli is staying. The big thing for me is, though, if we sign actually Rodrigo, I have no problem with Martinelli being the backup. I have zero problems. Because I can see Martinelli being arguably our 12th man, no pun intended, 12th man of the bench. He actually could be very dangerous. Like second part of the game, everyone's getting tired, more like legs are starting to feel heavy, harder to breathe, and then you sub on Martinelli just to run around, cause chaos, sprint, press, and then just use pace to maybe influence the game one way or another. I think that actually could work to some extent very, very well, especially in the cup games. Not just in Premier League, cup games, that could work especially. Big up Sham, bye-bye Trossard. It looks that way. It genuinely looks that way. They want 80 mil for Kai Havertz, dude. Chelsea are shameless asking for Max Dauman during preliminary talks for Madueke and also monitoring Ethan. Yeah, they asked for Max Dauman in return, and Arsenal instantly said, well, are you drunk? Are you stupid? Seriously? We are never giving away Max Dauman. I'm surprised Ethan... I'm very surprised that Ethan hasn't been done yet. That still worries me, because Ethan should be another guy that should be already done and dusted. He has 1 year left on his deal, and if he doesn't resign, it genuinely could be very scary hours if we are talking about Arsenal. It genuinely could be very scary hours, in my opinion. And we need to do it ASAP. Why don't we ever get their good players? I don't know. Other teams just take our best players like no tomorrow, and we never take their best players. We usually take their just players. And we don't even take, to be honest, the best players from lower-end teams. When we take lower-end team players, they are still not the best. They're maybe third or fourth best player. We don't even take their best players, which is weird because other teams do it. Arsenal never do it, which is kind of a weird thing. I'm not going to lie. Big up Era, some Mikel music in the building. Big up people. 17 likes, people. Big up to you all. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'd rather sign Kubo from Sociedad, or just bring in a left wing and keep Trossard as a backup for Saka. I get it. I'm not gonna lie. I absolutely get it. For me personally, I don't rate Takefusa Kubo as highly as other people do. From what I have seen watching La Liga, what I have seen from watching Real Sociedad, doesn't convince me. Genuinely, he doesn't convince me. He feels a bit weak on the ball. He's very inconsistent with his finishing and everything. Plus, even as a backup, it just doesn't excite me as much, right? Then again, Kudus 80 million again feels like it's a bit of a waste of money to some extent. Because if I have option to buy Kudus for 80 million, or let's just say Rodrigo for 85 million, for me, Rodrigo is a no-brainer in this regard. Whether if he's going to work out in Premier League, that's a different story, of course. But Kudus didn't do too well at left wing himself. He's more of a right winger / false 9, number 10, something like that. He's not even a left winger. And when he was playing left wing for West Ham, he also wasn't doing that good for himself. And speaking of keeping Trossard as a backup, I get it. Trossard can be very influential in terms of coming off of the bench. The biggest issue with Trossard, for me personally at least, is the fact that you never know what kind of Trossard we are getting. Either it's a proper Trossard, like balling Trossard, who gets 3 assists or scores 3 goals like he did for Brighton against Liverpool, or we gonna get Stella R drunken Trossard, where he genuinely has wooden legs, he cannot take any touches, and he just loses the ball every way, shape, and form imaginable. I think for that, Trossard is kind of inconsistent. Plus, he's 30, which it looks like Arsenal are playing career mode on FIFA, where after 30, players instantly become 10 times worse. They lose pace, they lose abilities, what it feels like at least, and they're trying to avoid that situation. Plus, last September as well, last year, we rejected about 35 million bid from Saudis for Andre Trossard. So if we can get right now the same amount, I actually would sell him. I'm not gonna lie. Trossard gonna cook. He better. Big up no, by the way. Big up no. It's very hard to be worse than he was last year. I'm not gonna lie. So Odegaard has genuinely nowhere but up to go. Plus, there are no excuses right now, because if we sign Gyökeres, he will actually have someone to feed the ball to. There will be no place to hide anymore. It's not gonna be like Saka gets triple teamed out of the game and Arsenal have no attack. Odegaard is left on his own. He will know how Gyökeres. And if we sign even a left winger, another one, right, then he will have even more options, which again will make him even more. He will have to step up even more, in my opinion. Walcott said it best. The team got complacent with no competition. Yeah, best. I get you mean best. Yeah, he said the best. The team got complacent. Yeah. It took one summer, you could argue. It took literally one summer for everyone to catch up to Arsenal, but watching the Calafiori Merino summer. One summer, and everyone caught up more or less, and Arsenal fell. Like it's that quickly happens. There's plenty of games for everyone. Eze, Odegaard, Rice in midfield. I look forward to that one. Yeah, there are plenty of games. 50 plus games during the season if you get even far in cup competitions, which at the end of the day means that everyone should get a fair share of games, which again brings me the question to Ethan Nwaneri. Personally, it brings me to the question of Ethan Nwaneri, because we are still linked with Noni Madueke. It looks like that is gonna go forward, and we are gonna submit a bid at some point during next week. And Ethan Nwaneri's situation is very dangerous because he wants guaranteed playing time. And if he gets the same treatment as he did last year, I'm not so sure he will get it. So this is the biggest concern for his agent and Nwaneri himself. He wants guaranteed minutes. And since he plays in the two spots predominantly, where Arteta has his undroppables in Saka and Trossard and Odegaard, yeah, he needs guarantees without shadow of a doubt. And I will be so pissed off if we let him go, if we cannot resolve this situation. It's gonna, for Arsenal, it genuinely is gonna do Arsenal more harm than good, 100%. That is the biggest worry for me. 20 likes, big up people, big up, 20 likes already. You are smashing it, and if you haven't already, do me the favor, smash the like button as well. Do me that favor as well. The more than enough football to go around. Yeah, cups and everything, as long as we don't throw him in the bin, of course. I'm investing in Martinelli's stocks next season. I think he has a mad one once he hits bench. Yeah, that for me is the biggest thing. If we sign a starting left winger, a big name, let's just say as we talked about Rodrigo and everything, and Martinelli becomes a second option of the bench, he could actually have fantastic season next year. Obviously, based on the previous 2 seasons, you wouldn't say so. It would be a very big gamble. But Martinelli, I think, of the bench, where he's not in the main role, where he's not forced to maybe on such a heavy load, right? To utilize, to basically, that I think weighs very, very heavy on his shoulders. I think it could be the better for him, for his psychological effect and everything. He could be more dangerous in that regard. I just put it that way. We're going to lose Nwaneri and Down and buckle up. We are not. I hope we are not. We'll get Trossard sold, then get Rodrigo in then. Well, that is the copium. I'm not going to lie. That is the copium for me personally. For me. My Kudus and Kubo take was instead of Madueke. Oh, in that regard, Kudus over Madueke, yeah, I would take 100%. The thing is, though, 50 million for Madueke or 80 million for Kudus, Those 18 million is very steep for me personally regarding Kudus, because last summer we as Arsenal, because we were linked with him and interested, we could have signed him for 40 odd million. And now if we want him, we have to pay double that. And that for me is very, very, very scary. We will gonna have to play such a premium on him that it's actually worrying for me personally. What is the need of signing Madueke if we play Ethan as a backup to Saka? He's bare player anyway. Exactly. Where is he getting minutes if we get Eze and Madueke and we want him to stay? And that is the biggest worry. I think that's why when Nwaneri, looking at the current situation as it is unfolding, specifically with Madueke links, with the fact that we are, well, linked with Rodrigo, let's just put that into equation as well. And we have Trossard, we have Martinelli. Like, there are rumors that they might leave, of course, right, as it states here. But there is no guarantees. I think Nwaneri might be is feeling like an odd man out. But that just shows how much Nwaneri believes in himself, and he knows how good he is. Because we know how good he is, because we watch him. But he knows that he is good enough to play consistent minutes, to have some impact on the game every single week. He knows that. And the fact that Mikel Arteta didn't utilize him enough, he played even Raheem Sterling instead of him last season, towards the end part of the season when everything was done and dusted, just shows that why Nwaneri is starting to question these situations. And if you add on top of that Aiden Heaven just went to United, Chidobe Martin just went out of nowhere, right? Omari Hutchinson, another youngster, just go without getting a second at Arsenal. Butler Oyedeji, few seconds at Arsenal, and he goes for free in a time where we need a strike. We don't even try Butler Oyedeji up top, and he just signed for Lausanne in Switzerland, right? I'm not surprised that Nwaneri is already worried about his minutes and situation. Personally, just start leaving them. Big up, Marlon. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Musiala injury, Musiala injury, horrific injury as well. He's out for about half a year, basically almost till the end of the year. That is also very, 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 very scary and very hurtful for a player like that. Nordic countries producing top strikers: Haaland, Isak, Gyökeres at top 5 clubs. Then you have the one at United, Højlund. Oh yeah. They have Højlund. Yeah, they're trying to get rid of Højlund, aren't they? If I'm not mistaken. And nobody's taking him. That's what's nuts. That just shows. Maybe there are some links with Serie A, but overall, there's nothing concrete as of that. Let's just put it that way. Let's go. Gyökeres closed. Ole, prime Arsenal attack loading. Maybe if we get him over the line, it could be the case. Hell no, I can't take us losing Dom and Nwaneri rather. Yeah, even Havertz. Oof, Havertz. Nwaneri will get playing time. That is the hope. That is the hope to get him over the line. But he needs guarantees. He himself is asking guarantees with agent. With all the signings, we could rotate in domestic competitions and still not drop off that much. Yeah, exactly. If we sign enough good backups as well, we can still rotate and not lose that much. Let's be real. We have certain positions where we cannot rotate at all. We have those positions, unfortunately, already. Still, not even already, but still. But also we have positions where we can rotate, but we just don't. That is the nuts part in all of this. That or get him locked down and loan him out. Yeah, loan him out and say to this, you sign 5-year deal, we're going to loan you out to Borussia Dortmund or some Premier League side and everything, and you come back when Arteta is not here if he goes, right? And then we will see what happens, because the way Arteta treated Nwaneri last season, come on, man, that was embarrassing to say the least. Nwaneri over Madueke every day, every goddamn day. Yeah, I would much rather also have Takefusa Kubo than Madueke. And I don't even rate Kubo at the moment that highly as well. And that just shows, doesn't it? I would rather Robben now than Madueke. Dude, Robben, that was different gravy. Different gravy. Bayern midfield is in trouble, man. No Musiala, no Parn. To be honest, Musiala played a lot from the left as well. They got rid of Sane, the Coman as well, if I'm not mistaken. I might be missing something. Maybe Coman is still there. But that just means if Rodrigo becomes available, despite the fact that you get told that he wants Premier League or something like that, don't be shocked if Bayern Munich are in for Rodrigo. Just don't, because they will need to fill that gap. Just like, for example, now Liverpool, they need to fill the gap of after Jota's passing away and stuff like that. They already were looking at a striker before Jota unfortunately passed, and they will have to look at it now on a much harder grade or much higher level right now. Let's be real. This is really, really as well worrying in that regard, because we will have more competition in the market. 22 likes. Big up to you all. Big up to you all watching. If you haven't, like the stream. Like the stream. If we can get to 30 likes by the end of the stream, that would be phenomenal, to say the least. And subscribe if you're new as well. MLS needs to put his arm around his bro and remind him of the dream. Yeah, maybe. Ethan wants to stay, but Arteta, like, it feels like, I don't know. Is this fact about the minutes solely due to the fact that how Mikel Arteta treated Nwaneri in the second part of the season after that Madrid situation where apparently he was late or something like that he played Raheem Sterling instead of him or something? I don't know, but it's not looking too good from that part. Can't lie, I got excited when kind of Arsenal gave an update that Saudi intermediaries have been informed that Rodrigo prefers move to Premier League and Arsenal will be his priority. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I got excited as well, but I don't take anything for granted these days. Until he holds up an Arsenal shirt or we put in a bid and Real Madrid accept it, I will not get too excited. All the links, that is fine. But unless it happens, it's nothing. I'm not gonna get over the moon. I'm Arteta, but I'm not sure who I'd wanted Simeone, but maybe now we wait for Cesc to do another year at Como. I would try out Xavi, not gonna lie. If we had ability, maybe try somehow persuade someone else big, like, your Allegri, who just went to AC Milan. Try to Conte, persuade him from Napoli or stuff like that. Try something like that. Try something unorthodox. Because if you promise anyone enough money, they will most likely come. And to say on top of that, right, if we are willing to pay 15 million a year to Mikel Arteta, there is no reason, there is no argument against why we could not pay another big manager the same amount. There is no reason why. Because pretty much every single manager has won more than Mikel Arteta. There's obviously that. But if you look at other managers, your managers who have pedigree in this world, who have won trophies, who are established managers, huge managers, all of them get pretty much half or a bit less than half the money Mikel Arteta is getting at Arsenal. And what has Arteta done to deserve that type of money? Only managers that get more money than Arteta are, well, Pep, right? Inzaghi, because he is at obviously Al Hilal and they're paying him insane amount of bag. And if I'm not mistaken, Simeone, something like that. Arteta is the third or fourth highest paid manager in world football, and the only one who hasn't won anything, pretty much. Like, that is awful if I look at it from that point. Cesc, no thank you, no more. Yeah, that for me is as well. Unless we are signing up an ex-manager who has ex-player who has won it all as a manager or has won quite a bit as a manager, I don't want any ex-players as Arsenal managers. I don't want that whatsoever. I would love Diego Simeone, Hansi Flick, Inzaghi, Luis Enrique, any proven winner. Exactly. Luis Enrique, getting him out of PSG at the moment, looking at how PSG are playing, what they're on, what they have won, and how they're doing right now, I don't think there is even a chance to getting him out of PSG. Hansi Flick as well. He won La Liga. He done everything there. The next only goal pretty much is Champions League. Simeone, maybe. The thing is, Simeone for Atletico Madrid kind of has turned into, has turned into Arsene Wenger for Atleti at least. But yeah, another reason why Arteta out, then not wanting Nwaneri, then who do you want? Inzaghi? Zidane, maybe, if we can afford him. Well, we should be able to afford him. That's a wrong statement. Saying Xavi all season? Yeah, Dio, you were saying you want Xavi as well. Big up to you. Neil Warnock, bring him to the carpet. Sam Allardyce, yeah. We turned down 45 million euros for Jesus. Yeah, we did that. We did that last year. We turned down 45 million for Jesus. another injury, and he got another injury afterwards. And right now, at best, we are looking at what? 20 if we're lucky. We are looking at the moment at 20 million for Jesus if we are lucky. If we are lucky, genuinely. Been saying Leonard Jardim when Saka was still 17. Yeah. I'd get Luis Enrique. He's a winner, 100%. 100%. The question is, though, can we get him out of PSG? Because that would be task and a half, to say the least, right now. Leonardo wins the leagues with our squad. Leonardo da Vinci? I'm just blanking on the last name at the moment. Again, I would say, can he prove a winner? Yeah, to be honest, yeah. Leonardo would win with this squad, but not against Pep or Slot. Yeah, that is the one. He beat money up PSG. He's doing that. Let's give Unai Emery another go. Let's give Unai Emery another go. Why not? Why not? To be honest, imagine if we got let's just say random parallel universe, right? We get Unai Emery back. Can you imagine the levels that Gyökeres, Saka would be playing at if we got Unai Emery? Because no matter how you look at it, no matter what you want to say about Unai Emery, when he's in charge, his attackers bag goals for fun, no matter how you look at it. Like Golden Boot winning Aubameyang and Lacazette was on firing, and that was insane stuff at the time. Insane stuff. Big up Beggy. Finally, there is progress on this window. Yeah, it looks that way. Looks that way. Yeah, it looks like we are moving actually like a big club for a change. Hopefully, at least. We are starting to get a move on. Didier Deschamps. I'm not so sure about that one, though. Yeah, that is one of the biggest. Sometimes, like when you watch these other managers, right, that are doing good things, maybe they are this far of winning stuff, right? They do well with their teams. Many times it's very sad as well to see how the teams get picked apart. They take their best players and it feels like they have to start over. Like that is one of those things I wish sometimes didn't happen, because I know it's a Cinderella story, like underdog story, massive one, David versus Goliath type of situation. But you cannot help but wonder what would happen with those teams if they actually managed to do the stuff. If they manage to keep on holding up players, add quality to the team, what would they look like long term? Not just in few seasons, not just one season, maybe two if they're lucky. I just put it that way. That's because Villa are having money problems. Yeah, Villa are. They are in issues with all the triple letter words and everything. They are. Sitting in the middle of the shops while my wife and Dars are shopping, jam-packed here. Why are you not shopping? Probably there is some sports goods store in the mall and everything you can buy the new Arsenal kit. Maybe you can do that with Zubimendi on the back. Who knows? Doué is a big game player. Yeah, he's always clutch. Yeah, this is Doué for the age and everything who is doing. Yeah, he's doing some big things. Big things. Barcola, I can see the arguments why Barcola would be nice at Arsenal. For me, the issue with Barcola is his finishing, because his finishing ability leaves more to be desired. 100%. For me, that is the biggest issue. We need some goals from wings as well. Barcola would give us goals, but would he give them on consistent enough basis? I'm not so sure. That for me is the other thing. Why is Slot now some mythical manager? I don't know. It's the talk between you lot. I'm not getting involved. I'm not gonna lie. Big up, people. 24 likes. Big up to you all. If we can push it to 30, it would be phenomenal. Greetings. Big up, BBK. Big up. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. Hope you're doing well today. Hope everything was fine. Your stream was fantastic as well. Today, I was watching it and everything. Big up to you. Big up to you. Go subscribe to BBK Sports as well. I do everything to get Luis Enrique. He'd be enticed with the Premier League and throw him loads of money. Would be guaranteed to watch beautiful football. Yeah, and to be honest, we actually would have won something. We definitely would have won something on Luis Enrique if we got Enrique. Let's be put that way. I'm still kind of on this track of idea that if Unai Emery got the backing Mikel Arteta got, money-wise at least, like and time-wise, patience-wise, and all that jazz, we would have won something under Emery as well. We would have. Just unfortunately, the circumstances were not favorable to him. Let's just put it that way. Imagine if we got Klopp. We are never getting Klopp. Klopp said himself he's never going to coach anyone anymore in Premier League, and Liverpool was his only team in Premier League. He's not going to coach anyone else, at least here, apparently. If we let Nwaneri go, this club is broken. Yeah, 100%. If we let Nwaneri leave this club, oh my God, some heads must roll then. Some heads must roll. When I said Barkley, everyone laughed at me. No, nobody laughed at you. There were some better options, like, hence, Rodrigo. If Nwaneri goes, Arteta has even more power than we thought. Yeah, 100%. 100%. That will show everything. That will show everything you need to know, pretty much, if Nwaneri goes. Because if you actually then put 2 and 2 together, right? If you look at how Nwaneri played last season, then how Arteta treated him, now looking at the contract that he doesn't want to sign and he wants guaranteed minutes, and afterwards he goes, right? It would just, it wouldn't be great. And to be honest, if we let Nwaneri go, I think Arteta would not survive that. Arteta would not survive the backlash from the fan base. I think even the tippity toppest of top Gooners would turn on him if that would happen as well. I kind of starting to believe that. Left field choice, Marcelo Bielsa. Marcelo Bielsa is a very interesting option, I'm not going to lie. Looking at what he did at Leeds, how he played and everything, it could work at Arsenal 100% with the quality of defenders we have, the quality of attackers we have. Well, not right now, but we could have. Let's just put it that way. If we get Gyökeres and maybe we get Rodrigo, there is some parallel universe where we can do that, right? If we got those, Marcelo Bielsa would work, I think, at Arsenal. Overall, I'm kind of a bit unconvinced about Marcelo Bielsa in general, obviously. But looking at what he did at Leeds when he had, Bamford, when he had Rafinha and players like that, it was quite nice with Calvin Phillips at the 6 and everything. It was actually very, very nice. Luis Enrique's own words, I would love to work in England one day. But that is one day. He's at the moment at the top of the mountain pretty much at PSG. I don't see a reason right now for him to leave. That is the biggest thing. I don't see a reason why. Unless Arsenal decide to increase his salary to 15, 16 million, given that he's on about 9 at PSG, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. I don't see a reason. I genuinely don't see a reason why. Did everything go cold around Eze? Any update? That is the weirdest thing. There are some talks about Eze and Arsenal and stuff like that, but there is nothing, let's just say, substantial. There is just talks that Arsenal have inquired, but they haven't put in any bids. Arsenal have done this, but there has been nothing. But apparently, there are also rumors that Arsenal are going to step up their interest into Eze after Gyökeres deal most likely is getting done. Those are the latest things I have read, at least, but nothing besides that. I can show you this, but I'm not too sure how true those are, because you cannot take anything for granted these days. You have to take everything with massive pinch of salt. With the Gyökeres deal nearly wrapped up, Arsenal are now stepping up their push to land Eberechi Eze. If that is the case, phenomenal, to say the least. If that is the case, I'm over the moon and I'm super happy. But looking at the source as Footy Insider, I would not take that as a gospel, because being quite wrong in most of the windows. It's more likely to happen than I don't know what they're talking about, I'm not gonna lie. Don't think Berta would allow Nwaneri to leave. That is also okay. Arteta is more likely to be sacked, so he would be talking with Ethan's camp, telling them to be patient. He's still young. Go out on loan like Saliba. The biggest thing is Saliba is Emery's signing. And I think the fact that he was Emery's signing is a bit unnervy and a bit, let's just say, grinding Mikel Arteta's gears the wrong way. Let's just put it that way. Because pretty much every single Emery signing he has gotten rid of. And Saliba is the last one. And he basically got Saliba put in his lap, and it worked out by sheer luck as well to some extent. Because it felt like Saliba was bound to get sold until that once preseason where Ben White at center back wasn't working. He got pushed out to the right. And Mikel Arteta had massive issues with the center back spot. And he just put their Saliba in there during that preseason. And Saliba literally tore it up during preseason. And he had no other choice but to keep him. And have you noticed that Saliba also is the only French player we have in our team as well? Arteta hasn't signed a single French player to our team in the first place. And then the other French player he has gotten rid of quicker than you can say transfer window. That is also a big thing. I don't know what's happening with Arteta and Frenchies there, but it's something weird. It's actually nice to see players only wanting to come to us being way too long. Zubimendi, Gyökeres, Moskern, if we sign Eze, he needs to come home. Yeah, Eze needs to come home. I really hope Eze comes home. He said during last season himself that he would love to return to Arsenal. Plus, he would have an extra chip on his shoulders to prove us wrong. We cut him from our academy time ago. Remember those days? And I think there will be an extra incentive for him himself to actually play even harder than before. Let's just put it that way. Is there Gyökeres, Hatzo, Mosquera good? The nut part is I haven't heard and read anything about Jorel Hatzo whatsoever since 2 weeks ago. That was the last time or so, 2 weeks or so ago, last time I heard something about Jorel Hatzo regarding Arsenal. Since then, it's been grave silent. Like, that is how nuts it is. That is actually kind of nuts for me that even if you follow transfers, you don't hear something in those terms. Big up, why not? Big up, why not? Hope you're doing well. Yes, I'm all good. Some Sunday chill vibes with Arsenal transfers. Hopefully we get some more done over time. I meant go develop like Saliba did for 3 years. I think Nwaneri doesn't need too much time to develop. I think if he goes even out on loan in one season, if we pick the right club, he will be ready in 1 year. Looking at his ability, what he's doing already, if he gets regular starter role and he goes to like Borussia Dortmund even, or RB Leipzig even, or someone like that, or he goes to some other teams that actually would play him to his abilities and to the right positions, it wouldn't take too long for him to become established. Then again, he comes back, and we are still in the same goddamn predicament. Saka and Odegaard are still there in his positions. And we all know that if Arteta is here, as long as Arteta is here, most likely Odegaard and Saka are not getting dropped. And that is the backlash of everything in terms of that. And so for the many at Arsenal today, yeah, he is here. 13 days till preseason. In 13 days, we fly out to Singapore. Preseason training starts in what? Few days? Arteta has bad taste from his PSG. No idea. No genuine idea. Also, the fact that he has played together with some of the most insane ballers in the world, like Ronaldinho and stuff like that. He has been coached by some of the best managers in the world, and he has worked under them. And then he decides to play like David Moyes or Sean Dyche. That is actually kind of frustrating, if you ask me. Sell Kiwi or bring in Hatzo. I would be all over that if that would be the case. If we could actually strike a deal for that, I would be all over it. Slot is not winning the league with our squad. Nobody is winning the league with our current squad, at least the last season's squad. Then when Kivior goes up and goes 2 steps supporting Arsenal because you're Arteta, in my opinion, is anti-French, anti-personality. It looks that way. It genuinely looks that way, which is very, very, very concerning. Because some of the best talents you can get these days, first things first, are French. And second of all, if you want talent, if you want world-class players, if you want ability, the personality comes with them without saying. It comes by default. And if he doesn't want one of those or both of those, it's a big worry long-term. I'd like to see a bit of rotation in the midfield next season. If we sign Eze, especially against low blocks, don't want to predict our starting 11 every game next season. Yeah, the predictability is very annoying. Like, it basically, Arsenal's starting 11 has gone from unpredictable starting 11 in first 2 years, or 2.5, to very predictable, like a house store, basically, those level predictable starting 11 for the next 2.5 years. And right now, I would love to have another unpredictable starting 11, but in a way that we actually still keep the quality. And maybe sometimes try against maybe weaker teams, try Eze in an 8. So we have 2 number 10s up top in those situations. We have Odegaard and Eze. Something like that. Play Odegaard in the 8, Eze in the 10. So we have 2 actual playmakers pushing up the field and everything. Plus, let's be real, Odegaard sprints anyway, so why not? Big up, AJ, big up. Why does anyone think our squad last season is even good enough to win the league? Who thinks that? Who thought that? Tell me who thought that, besides Top Gooners. Tell me who thought that. Because Top Gooners gave last year's window 7 out of 10. I am already seeing, before Zubimendi got announced today, by the way, that there were Arsenal fans who were saying that this transfer window was 7 out of 10 already. On what premises is this window, before even Zubimendi and anyone else, it was 7 or 8 out of 10? On what premises? What reasons you have behind to suggest those type of things? For me personally, we need an Eze Bomba, or here we go. Now we need Gyökeres and Eze. We need both of them, and then we can do the other players 100%. 100%. We need that Eze at Arsenal. We need also Gyökeres at Arsenal as soon as possible, if you ask me. I don't think anyone can drop Saka. In Arsenal terms, no. In Arsenal terms, no. But we can sign quality players so we don't have to play Saka every single game. So he can rest, he can recover, he doesn't have to play as much, because after this ACL, the grade 3 and injury and surgery and everything, it's not going to be the same. He is going to need time, no matter how much time he has now given to recover. He's going to need time, and we need quality there. And even Nwaneri would be the perfect example for that, because Nwaneri's crossing is top notch. At this age, he already is putting top high-end level crosses. Gyokeres up top, why not? He has the ability to dribble past defenders. Just give him the trust. Give him the ability. Give him time to prove himself. Instead of Madueke, swap deal for cash for Xavi Simons with Nwaneri, but he goes on loan. That would be better to Masterstroke. If that would happen, that would be actually kind of nuts. Like, overall. Nobody's hating on Kiwi, or stop being so damn touchy. We have the right to criticize him as well. I like Kivior, but he won't be getting time, and he wants that. Exactly. He's a player we can actually get some money for, so if we have to sell, I do what's best for him and club by letting him go. Yeah, we can get someone else in. We can play Calafiori as a center back. He is the center back, to be honest, so why not? We had any chance of winning in 21-22. Yeah, that was all. Last season, it was the season when we finished 2 points behind City, right? We screwed it up ourselves in the first part of the season, and Havertz was a big part of it as well. From an outside point, I'm throwing a salacious accusation of anti-French. It feels that way, doesn't it? It genuinely feels that way. 100% it feels that way. We know Arteta love. Yeah, holy hell nah. If we end this window right now, I will give it 3 out of 5 or 3 to 5. Because right now, if I have to give this window a rating, I'm giving it a 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10 at best. And that is even pushing it. Because we have signed Zubimendi, we have signed some players, but we still haven't addressed the main issues, which is striker, left wing, number 10, stuff like that. And we haven't gotten rid of Dross players still. So there is nothing too much to get over and be excited about in those terms. Selling Nwaneri would be a bigger mistake, and not signing Mahrez. Yeah, we were about to sign Kante, and Wenger got Xhaka. Emery wanted Fabinho, who went to Liverpool, and we got Lucas Torreira and all this stuff. And it's always like that. It's always like that. We wanted Mahrez, we wanted Vardy as well. It's always something. Saliba was already developed when sent on loan. Yeah, Saliba was player of the season in Ligue 1 and everything. He was pocketing players like no tomorrow. Saliba was forced out on second and third loan because Arteta was forcing him out, stripping him of his French patriot Vieira, who gave number 4 to Benzan. Maybe. That could be the case, maybe. But at least he's actually managed to establish himself and prove Arteta wrong. Let's just put it that way. We know Arteta loves his players. He's so in love with them that he will play them no matter what they can play crap. He will keep them on the pitch for 90 minutes. Yeah, that's what it feels like. There are players who can drop stinkers left and right, and they're still going to get played. And the sad part is the stinkers the players who drop stinkers still play because we have nobody to substitute them with. We have nobody to drop them for. And that is a big issue. I'm hating on Kiwior. Why not? Why are you starting a war in the comments with Marlon? Why are you doing this? Calafiori plays better at center back than left back anyway. Yeah, for me, Calafiori is either a center back in a 3 center back formation, by the way, not even a 2 center back formation, because haven't seen him much as a 2 center back formation. Plus, he's better at left wing back in 5 at the back, not left back in the 4 at the back. Wenger was in charge for the Leicester season. Yeah, Wenger was. We screwed it up. Plus, Giroud forgot how to score because Ozil could have broken Henry's record in assists, and then Giroud just forgot how to score a ball for about a century, between 3 and 5. Like 5 is very, very generous in my opinion. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that has to be a sign. We can't just be pulling up prime Wenger doing the impossible as a barometer. Wenger won cups with youth teams. Arteta cannot win a cup with his main team, so that is a big difference as well. Window so far -5, and I can see that -0. Damn. I'd like us to take domestic cup seriously. I would like us to take every cup seriously. Every cup seriously. The players need to get a taste of winning. If we've taken seriously, I believe we'd win then. And that is the other part. None of our players have tasted victory at Arsenal. And none of the players also have tasted defeat in a final for Arsenal. Because losing a final is 10 times more different than losing a semi-final. And that is also a big thing. Our players have not tasted nor victories in finals and nor defeats in the finals. That also builds character. Big up, Mr. Barrett. Big up. Mr. Barrett. Freaking hell. Hope you're doing well. No, and that is exact sequence of events of how Arteta dealt with Saliba. Yeah. But, at least Saliba proved everyone wrong. That's the big thing we can take from this. That is the big thing we are taking from this. Yeah, Ben didn't give a crap. He just want... Window is a 2 for now. I can see further than that. For me, it's a 3. It might be a bit generous, but it's 3. Current window is a 3 out of 10 because we got Zubimendi. Exactly. Only because of Zubimendi, for me, it's 3 out of 10. Are we giving Wenger Arteta money or Arteta's squad? Because those have completely different ramifications. To be honest, Wenger with Arteta's money... Marlon is like that. He's Kiwior's defense league, first things first. I have had streams where he argues, I don't remember, it was with Dio, I think, or Kwame or someone like that, whole stream that Kiwior is better than Saliba, something like that. And yeah, he is Kiwior's defense league, 100%. He's all the time arguing about something, to be honest, as well. If at the end of the video we have signed Kepa, Norgard, Zubimendi, Gyökeres, Eze, and the left wing Rodrigo, hopefully, right? Prayers and all that. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Anything higher depends on sales renewing contracts. To be honest, we have renewed a few contracts, but it still is up in the air. Some of them are up in the air, and extensions as well. I think for me to give it 10 out of 10 window, to be honest, nothing is going to be 10 out of 10 window as long as Arteta is here. Because to get 10 out of 10 window, Arteta must go in this window. So for me, that is a bit of a predicament in that regard. I can see this window overall being about 8 out of 10 if we do the necessary things. If we do the necessary things like Gyökeres, Eze, Rodrigo, a new left back, maybe Hato, someone like that, and we get out someone like Vieira, Lokonga, Zinchenko, we extend Nwaneri, we Saka, and all these guys, then yeah. Then 100%. I would sell Nwaneri, but not to a Prem team, also to Fandesi and Rodrigo. We will get about 40 million for Nwaneri max. The issue is selling Nwaneri could actually be more harmful than Arsenal and everything. But I get your point. I definitely get your point. Madness to sell Nwaneri. I get it. We won't buy a player of Nwaneri's talent. Exactly. That for me is the biggest thing. We won't. And the nuts part is most likely if we sell him, let's just say to someone, bigger chances than not that in few years, 2-3 years, he will be sold for 100 million to somebody else. Or we will have to buy him back for 100 million. Kiwior is a backup dancer like his girl, dude. Twerking like no tomorrow. 10 out of 10 window would mean we plug every hole in the squad, and we're definitely not doing that. Exactly. Exactly. It's not happening. 9 out of 10 is if Arteta is sacked. Only way we get 10 out of 10 if we get Middle Eastern owners. That, like, if we look at that, like, there is never going to be 10 out of 10 window, and it's never going to be 9 out of 10 window as well this summer. We might have 9 out of 10 season if Arteta goes. Screw that, Struck Punk, he was dissing us for real twerking. The question I ask myself is why? Yeah, it's a big issues here. We have big issues, and hopefully Arsenal actually managed to solve at least, I would say, 70-80% of them. So far, it's a big hope. Genuinely, it's a big hope, and hopium and copium in that regard. Time only will tell. Will these owners be serious? Will Kroenkes do something? Will Arteta do something? The biggest thing I want to see is how we are going to play. Because all of these signings genuinely mean fuck alls, excuse my language, unless we change our play style. If we keep playing the same way, I'm not too excited. I'm not too excited for the season. I'm not going to lie. If we sell, we need to put clauses in the contract to let us buy him. Yeah, something like that. At best. At worst. Buyback clauses, sell-on clauses, and everything. Put all the clauses in there. Weren't we linked to Joe Bellingham before he went to... Very vaguely. Very vaguely. Let's just put it that way. Very vaguely linked. But yeah, guys, I think it's time for me to end today's stream. It's past the hour. Need to have a shower, go to bed, relax before tomorrow, Monday, new work week, and all this stuff. You get the gist. Anyways, if you haven't already, right, check out my TikTok and YouTube short. Same thing, but if you are on both, please do it. Drop a like, drop a comment, share it around, and all this stuff. Have a nice evening. Subscribe and like the stream if you haven't already. Enjoy your evening. New week begins next week. Hopefully we get Gyökeres next week, and we get Eze as well. Hopefully. So time only will tell. For now, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to go relax, and I'm going to go chill. Hope you're going to do the same. Have a nice evening. Have a nice day tomorrow, or evening if you are in Australia and those places. Have a nice time. Enjoy your time. And I'm going to see you very, very, very soon tomorrow, hopefully with some more positive news. Peace.